Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I'm going to try and keep it a little casual. We've had some great conversations just before this. The idea for this conversation and what STEM really is supposed to signify is sports is perhaps the most rapidly changing and evolving media entity or media play in this country and globally. I think streaming has impacted nothing more than how it's impacted sports globally. Of course, cricket in India is beyond a religion at this stage, but I think last year with the Olympics and with football viewership on the rise in India, the amount of IPs and the amount of incredible investment in sports infrastructure, broadcasting, and obviously then consumption has been incredible. And there's no one better than the five of you all here to speak to this. Each in your own fields have sort of pushed the boundaries, if I can say so, of sports and the way they're consumed and the way fans interact with one, broadcasted sports, but then with sporting personalities and the intersection of brand, media, entertainment, and technology. Ravi Bhai, we'll start with you. Ravi Bhai needs no introduction. Of course, from being our favorite cricketer to our favorite commentator, and then obviously our favorite coach. I don't know if you all remember, but in the MCA there was that iconic drive with the Audi that happened in 1985. We've come a long way since then. You're now perhaps one of the leaders, thought leaders in the sports entertainment intersection space. You've got a new company, Sporting Beyond. You manage some of the most incredible Indian cricketers, in cricketing talent. You've probably yourself have been witnessing sports evolve firsthand, and not only witnessing but also been a catalyst of sports and entertainment and the intersection evolving in the country. What have your thoughts been in the recent past? You know, Indian cricket has evolved a lot, viewing has evolved a lot. Of course, we have, we have Geo Cinema sitting here with us, and that's been absolutely disruptive. But where's your headspace at? Where are we today? Where do you see further intersections between entertainment, technology, and sports coming into play?
Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this. I think it's a fantastic initiative, Waves. The reason I say it, because my life is a wave. You get a 0, you create waves. You get 100, you create waves. So we've been riding waves right through our lives. Right? And I've seen this game evolve. And each one of the players here are part of it. To see where cricket has gone over the last 40, 45 years since I've been involved in the sport. And without these platforms, the game wouldn't have evolved the way it is. In my time, it was radio, it was Doordarshan. Today, the platforms are unbelievable. From where to where it's gone. Relationship with brands, it was only ads. It was logos. There was no brand association. There was no social media. There was no podcasts. This is where it's going. And it's only going bigger and bigger. What it does is when you did something on the sporting field where, just to give you a number, 100 million watched, today, because of all these platforms that exist, it could be 700 million, 800 million, a billion, and going further. We are a country of 1.5 billion. We are young. 70% of the people are below the age of 30. So sport is something that drives them. And if you think it didn't drive them, it woke them up during COVID. It brought smiles on their faces when India played, wherever they played. Whatever sport, whether it was cricket, football, hockey, whatever. And when you perform, even bigger smiles. Even when you were in lockdown or quarantine or whatever. But why could they see it? Because of the platforms that exist. And today, the way it's going, it's simply fantastic. I mean, you mentioned Audi. The brand association I have with them goes back 40 years to date. Started 10th of March, 1985. It's still there today. It's not just because you drove a car around the MCG. It's what's beyond that. Where that car is and where today's Audi sits, how it's evolved with technology, how it's evolved with the times, how it's evolved with competition. So my job is storytelling, reliving the past. At the same time, keeping an eye on the future as to where, the car is moving as compared to other automobiles going, in the world and the competition they face. So it's fantastic. And the game itself, what technology has done for the sport is unbelievable. I mean, today a player can go back and watch himself 100 times. There'll be enough replays showing what he's done right, what he's done wrong. There's technology there to go even more into detail, to tell you more about your opponent, to tell you more about yourself, to tell you more about your strengths, your weaknesses, to then take on opposition wherever it exists and kill them. India has won a lot of tournaments in the last 40 years, since we first won it in 1983. We made people dream, and there's Dream 11 here. Dream, set, go. They are also there. So you make people dream, you make people evolve, but you need the support. And it's like you had pads in your kit bag, you had a cricket bat in your kit bag. Media is part of the kit bag. Media and technology is like a helmet in your cricket bag. You jolly well embrace it. Get to know what it does. Get to know how it enhances you and builds you up. You get all these million fans wanting your autographs, your photographs, getting you into advertisements. Why? Because one game of yours, you get 100, is seen by that many number of people. So you jolly well embrace technology, AI, that's coming into play now, big time. And it's your benefit. It's for your benefit, it's for the team's benefit, and it's for the growth of the game at the end of it all.
The expansion of the media landscape and the sports and media landscape in India has been absolutely crazy. Today, now you manage one of India's biggest sports stars as well. You'll do deals with him through his entire sporting thing. Where do you see it going from here? In the next 3 to 5 years, do you feel like where we've hit an inflection point and we're going to grow considerably from here? Do you think we're saturated and we've had enough and this is where it tapers off? And of course, you've already spoken about how technology plays in there, but where do you feel sort of consumption patterns are moving towards?
I think it's going to go bigger and bigger, simply because of the visibility factor. The platforms that are coming out every day. So earlier you would do an ad for a brand and you would be seen by X million. Today the platforms that exist give that same brand the viewership. It creates awareness that is unreal. They would have never dreamt of. And it's not just national, it's international. It's global. So the reason why the numbers increase, it's not a sport where you need 50,000 people to make money. That's nothing. You can forget the number of people that come in. You can get all of them in free. What pays is the other platforms that bring it in, just like the IPL. I mean, gate receipts aren't important. It's the bucks that come in from other platforms. It sustains and allows other platforms of cricket, other facets of cricket to grow. Take for example me. I played as a cricketer. I did broadcasting, I did coaching. But today the fun part is content. As Dhaval said, content is bap. You can't shortchange that. Is when I do television today, I'm walking down the street, I say, into the fence like a tracer bullet. It catches everybody's imagination. So I go through, I'm checking in, they say, hey, tracer bullet, can I have an autograph please? Or Dhoni finishes off in style. That's captured, goes down for years. You call 100 or a double 100, the first man on the planet to get a double 100 in one-day cricket, Tendulkar. It will be seen in different platforms for years. And then what caught my imagination now, what Dhaval said, at home, there could be 20 different things you want to see. You want to see Bumrah's action. You want to see someone else, batting in a certain way. Tomorrow there could be someone wanting to listen to commentary. Arey, iska sunna hai bhai, commentary, isne kya bola? Which captures, which allows us, gives us the motivation to raise the bar. Every time you go there, you want to raise the bar. It could be someone in the public eating an ice cream. That went viral. When I said, a big fellow is tucking into the cone, and that ice cream is disappearing at the rate of knots. That went viral. And that is because of the platforms that exist. There are reels, there are Instagram that are created. And then when you punch the numbers, 1.5 million, 2.5 million. So it's bizarre. Where it's going, it's fantastic. If you're actually in the middle of it, you've seen it evolve, you're part of it, it's mind-boggling. And we're here to stay for that.
Thank you everyone for coming out, and we look forward to seeing all of you all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.